Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that an entire civilization, millions of people, vanished in a single night. No war, no disease, no bodies. Just silence. Cities intact, fires still burning, food still warm, but not a single human soul left behind. Now, here's the real question. What if that civilization suddenly returned, today? For centuries, explorers whispered about a society we now call the Etherites, a people far ahead of their age. Their architecture cut stone with mathematical perfection that wouldn't reappear again for thousands of years. Their astronomical maps predicted solar events with impossible accuracy. Their inscriptions hinted at knowledge of energy, magnetism, and even consciousness itself. And then, one night, they all disappeared. No forced entry, no signs of evacuation, no natural disaster, just a civilization frozen mid-sentence. Archaeologists found dining tables set for meals, tools dropped mid-work, and whole marketplaces abandoned, as if time had simply paused. But the strangest clue came from deep underground. A network of obsidian chambers, walls polished like black mirrors, aligned to celestial constellations not of their time, but of ours. Some believe these obsidian chambers were ritual sites. Others say they were early scientific laboratories. But a small group of researchers, those willing to risk their reputations, suggested something far more unsettling. These chambers were not temples. They were a machine that failed. And when it failed, an entire civilization slipped out of our world. But where did they go? That mystery has never been solved. What is clear, however, is this. If the Etherites ever returned, our world would not remain the same.
Night falls over an ancient city, its torches still burning, its streets still arranged for tomorrow. But when the sun rises, silence reigns. No bodies, no signs of war, no fleeing tracks. An entire civilization has evaporated, as if history itself blinked. Archaeologists uncover half-finished meals, abandoned tools, and footprints that lead nowhere. Legends whisper of a storm that left no debris, a sound that left no echo. And across millennia, the question remains, untouched by time. How can a civilization vanish overnight? Throughout history, disappearances have been recorded as myths, folklore, or the work of gods. Yet behind every legend lies a historical pulse, a rhythm of migration, conflict, climate, or catastrophe. But some disappearances do not follow any logical pattern. They defy timelines, contradict environmental evidence, and challenge the very structure of what we consider possible. Among the most puzzling is the sudden vanishing of a thriving and orderly community, a civilization with architecture, agriculture, rituals, and record-keeping, simply gone by dawn. Today, we examine this enigma not as a fantasy, but as a historical and archaeological riddle that spans continents and eras. Archaeologists discovered the ruins decades ago in a region once rich in trade routes and cultural exchange. Pottery was left unfinished on the wheel. Granaries were stocked for the coming season. Even ceremonial altars showed signs of recent ritual activity. There were no burn marks, no signs of siege, and no mass graves. To the confusion of researchers, surrounding villages remained untouched, unaware of any exodus. Nearby inscriptions speak of the night of stillness, a phrase mentioned only once and never explained again. This settlement was known for its sophisticated water systems, lunar-aligned architecture, and a civic order unusually advanced for its era. Its people did not vanish due to decay over time. They disappeared abruptly, within a single night, according to stratigraphic layers and settlement patterns. In the centuries that followed, nearby cultures mythologized the event. Some claimed a celestial being called them back. Others said a forbidden ritual went wrong, opening a passage no human should cross. The ruins themselves show a blend of practicality and mysticism. Astronomical markers carved into stone, murals depicting a world emerging from darkness, and a final unfinished map pointing toward an uninhabitable region far beyond their borders.
At the heart of every Aeternite city stood an object we still can't fully decode, the harmonic spire. A towering pillar of quartz, metal alloys, and crystalline fibers that shouldn't have existed in ancient times. When struck by sunlight, these spires vibrated with a natural frequency, a low hum that researchers recreated only once. The result? A geometric pattern forming a shape we now recognize, a four-dimensional hypercube. This wasn't art, this was knowledge. Knowledge of dimensions beyond the physical world, knowledge modern physics is only beginning to approach. Their writings described existence as layers of reality, connected not by space, but by resonance. They believed consciousness itself could shift between layers if one knew how to unlock the harmonic frequency of matter. And then there were the star tablets, thin black stone panels filled with metallic symbols that respond to magnetic fields. For decades, people assumed they were ceremonial objects, but in 2024, an AI-driven translation model revealed something extraordinary. The symbols weren't prayers, they weren't stories, they were instructions. Instructions for how to open the mirror between worlds. Suddenly, the obsidian chambers made sense, the harmonic spires made sense, the impossible disappearance made sense. The Aethernites weren't taken, they weren't destroyed, they stepped out of our world, intentionally. But if they mastered this knowledge once, they could do it again. And that brings us to the real question. What happens when a civilization more advanced than us returns to a world we barely understand?